Hey, what's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. And here we are, Sunday, and it is our finale episode for the Sunday Football Review. We're going to be closing it out considering the Super Bowl champs. We had a great Super Bowl. I mean, great as in it wasn't the same thing we've been packaged for the last decade. It was a stinker, in my opinion.
It was a fine Super Bowl. I wouldn't say stinker, but it was fine.
I think the second half was fine.
Yeah.
The first half was stinky.
The first half kind of went how I thought it would be. I figured the defenses were going to shine. It's just not going to be a memorable Super Bowl, unfortunately, the way I view it. I don't think many people are going to remember it, and which is fine. A bunch of people don't remember a lot of other Super Bowls, but the conversation, I think, around this Super Bowl was the more interesting part, unfortunately, because to me, I felt it to be unbearably annoying the whole time.
So it is funny. You're like, it's kind of a boring Super Bowl. I do want to say we have a friend that is, arguably, I would say, kind of a gambling addict. And they thought for sure the Patriots are going to win. And I said, there's no doubt in my mind. When this is a reality, every time there's a new pope, the Seahawks get the magic Mason number of 13 games, and then they win the Super Bowl. I thought there's no world they're not winning this one as well. And they did. So I think the script always said they were going to win. And
it's kind of cool.
It is. It's a crazy stat.
Yeah,
it's a crazy stat. So it just keeps in especially the tinfoil hat climate we're living in right now, it just keeps feeding itself. However, the second half was pretty entertaining, but I also think that's because the Seahawks had a pretty solid lead. Then magically the Patriots got a touchdown, and it was like, oh, we can do that? It was all field goals. So it was, wow, we just skipped half the score. We almost had a game. I think Drake May got cheated in the fact that the line was getting destroyed.
Rough day from the left side of that line.
Oof. Yeah, and the Seahawks, nothing shined out. I mean, look at 4 field goals before we can finally make something happen. I mean, the reality is they weren't this unbeatable. I really do think if Bo Nix wasn't hurt, it's a totally different Super Bowl. Yeah. And I just want to say that the Seahawks, while they weren't this golden, unbeatable force, they held every position. Everything was moderately solid.
Their defense was the most impressive part.
Yes, I would say, yeah, I agree.
If they could go back and give out an MVP award, I would say it should be to the defense as a whole. Kenneth Walker had a great game. He really did, but you had 7 sacks. 7 sacks in the Super Bowl. But we got to give it to an individual player. And the defense completely shut them down.
Totally.
That's how this game went.
Well, it is funny, though, with a game that was a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But as you kind of acknowledged, lacked a little bit of the luster that we see in kind of our bigger finales. You made a comment as we were just kind of preparing to go live here that really stuck with me because I think it defines it all. It is sad that I do think what is going to define this Super Bowl more than anything is this Bedbuni circus. I don't want to get yelled at for the music, but I think you could tell the dud type energy coming from it.
It's so weird.
It is.
Weird.
I could tell for the folks it was meant for, they had fun, but I think the stadium's vibe kind of says it all.
It's almost like they're trying to divide what the fan base wants to watch during the Super Bowl.
Well, and why did it have to be political? Here's what I'm going to say. You were either watching Babuni or you were watching Turning Point USA and Kid Rock as he shoots up a bunch of Bud Lights. No, actually, as he came out looking like an old man, also lacking a whole bunch of energy. So you sit back. Okay, I'm in Ohio. And as much as I keep scrolling on the internet and seeing, Ohio energy, like Ohio's an adjective now as in meme culture, we're just made fun of. So I get what I'm in my own world coming from Ohio. But when I look at who's listening to Kid Rock,
No.
Conservative type people, it's like, I get it. I'm not deep South.
I couldn't even name you 5 Kid Rock songs.
But I feel like Kid Rock in 2007,
Sure.
man, you could go down to Tennessee,
Sure.
and that was a vibe.
Oh, yeah.
He set the tone. He was the tone.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, guy, if it was Jelly Roll or Brad Paisley or something,
It was Morgan Wallen.
that's the one. And he kind of does have a little bit of a political skew. But why are we trying to make it? First off, we know why. Let's not even this is the circus. They give you the popcorn, give them the show, keep them distracted. We enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. This whole Super Bowl halftime thing doesn't mean anything. I think both of them stunk, and what you really needed to be watching was the Heartland halftime show, which got all of the political and nonsense out of it. This was for everybody. Mm-hmm. Just get a little break, freedom dogs, but it also makes fun of our government. 100% meat from Argentina, but then great real band music with instruments and an entertainment value that you can't find anywhere else. So if you missed the Heartland halftime show on the Rethink Tank channel, you got to head on over to there. So first off, you could be the judge of all of your options. But I think this is what we need to have the message be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're so divided that it's either you're with us or against us.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be cool if we were like, hey, everybody just watch all the halftime shows? Like we're a melting pot.
You want to know how bad this is gotten to now is 5 years ago, people weren't saying we're going to have our own halftime show. And
right.
In half a decade, the people in charge of the halftime show have divided the people enough to where you have people wanting to host their own. And I don't blame the people for wanting to host their own because the product they're clearly putting out is pretty divisive. I watched Bad Bunny's after the fact because I watched ours. And then when I watched his, I thought it was the most mid thing I've ever seen. I genuinely did not think much of it. I didn't think it was awful. I didn't think it was great. I watched it and my first thought was, we made a big fuss over this.
Right.
We made this a big fuss to the point where I could not wait to see his name, which I owed nothing against Bad Bunny. Dude was offered the gig. I do not blame him for taking the gig.
Right.
Don't blame him at all.
No.
It's like Deshaun Watson signing his contract. I don't blame him for signing the contract. I blame us for giving the contract.
Yep.
I could not wait to stop seeing his name on my timeline, though. I just because I was done with it. I was just over the conversation around it. And what bothered me then, too, is I just want this Super Bowl to be done being talked about. And at the heart of it should be about Sam Darnold's journey to this point. And instead, I'm like, I just want this Super Bowl to be done, over with, goodbye. In the past, I don't ever want to think about the Super Bowl again. And then the reality is, it's a really great sports story for the NFL. And no one was talking about it. We're talking about Bad Bunny and the halftime show. And I'm more pissed off at everybody else about it rather than Bad Bunny or Sam Darnold because they're just doing their job.
Right.
They're just doing it.
No, well put. And I love you kind of re-enhancing that point even further because Doug, we're trying here. So the thing that I appreciate is the last thing I want to say about it all. We were doing our own halftime show before it became a cool thing this year when it became a political tool to divide us. Keep your tinfoil hats on because I'm going to be real with you. Didn't really exclaim it much this season. But the reason we do our own halftime show is because just think about this and do with it what you will. When you're full of plastic because our food's killing us and we're red 40 and everything else, all the whole deck, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, everything's stacked against us to weaken us and make us dumb. This is the biggest live broadcast in human existence on this floating rock, once a year, you have the when you hear Turning Point and I think it was NBC skew the numbers of how great the numbers were and how bad they were, they're still talking hundreds of millions of people all watching a broadcast all at one time. I suggest to people all the time, if it's a halftime show you need to watch, just watch it later that evening, the next day, whatever, off of YouTube. Don't watch the live broadcast. Save yourself from the vibes and frequencies. I know you sound crazy, but truthfully, the second you do that, you will see a difference. That's why I implore you. Yeah, I had to get crazy for a second, but I want to explain why we did this. This isn't because we don't want you to enjoy a Puerto Rican halftime show and get a spicy halftime. We also, I think you could probably do without Kid Rock. I don't watch Turning Point USA. I'm a big proponent against Turning Point USA anyway. Conservative here. I'm just saying I hate the organization.
If
Don't
you
vote for it.
actively turned into Kid Rock going, hell yeah, please touch grass. Please touch grass, dude.
Great. Great way. So let's keep it going. Football. Give me your thoughts on this Sam Darnold's journey, the thing that we should be focusing on. What are your thoughts on that? Present it to everybody.
It's just great. It's real awesome story for the NFL. Do I think
what is that story? Can you kind of flesh it out?
It's you're drafted 2 or 3 overall. I think he was the 3rd pick. You go to the Jets. Similar situation, kind of like Baker's. Like you just kind of go to a franchise where historically haven't done well. Then you kind of turn into this journeyman quarterback. Basically, everybody says you're awful. Like you're not that good of a quarterback. He finally catches on with it. And here's the thing. He didn't do bad with the other teams. They just weren't you go to Carolina. Carolina's still not that good. This is the most recent year in years they've done well, probably since the Cam Newton days, which good for them. Darnold goes to San Francisco, plays a few games, looks okay. Minnesota takes a shot on him. He does very well at Minnesota. The only NFL team right now that should be super pissed off about the decisions they made is the Minnesota Vikings. The New York Jets are not upset. If anything, you're probably happy for Sam because it wasn't working there. They gave him the 3-4 years there and thought, this isn't it. We got to, separate here. If you're a Minnesota Viking fan, knowing you chose JJ McCarthy, you're all idiots. You deserve everything you get. And by the way, that is just me talking about sports-wise, not even just how I politically view your state as a whole. I love the fact that the Twins and the Vikings are in the dumpster. It brings me so much joy. Back to Sam. Sam goes to Seattle. Sam Darnold, at best, is a top 10 quarterback, but he's a good top 10 quarterback. No, if anybody's out there right now saying, oh, he's a top 5 quarterback after this Super Bowl win, I'd be like, really? I'm going to start naming quarterbacks. Do you think if they were put on this team, they would succeed as well? Most of them would. They had a great defense. But what does Sam Darnold do well that he used to not do well? He doesn't turn the ball over. Right. Sam had a really great playoff. He didn't turn the ball over much. He barely did anything in 2 games. He had 3 games. He barely did anything. If you take away Drake May's interceptions and put his stats next to Darnold's, they look pretty similar, which is fine. Because what did Sam not do? He didn't turn the ball over, controlled the game, commanded the game. He looks like a really good dude. He comes off like a really humble guy. He understands the journey he's had, and he's very grateful for where it has brought him to. And it was on the cusp of greatness, and they won. The only negative thing is this narrative is attached to this other BS that was attached to the Super Bowl. And in reality, everybody should be saying, for the Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the Joe Burrows, the golden child quarterbacks of the NFL, this is a great story for this is what you can accomplish for any of these teams. For any of these teams that have gone through a rough patch of years, you just need a good enough, competent enough quarterback to get you over that hump with a solid defense.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to have, and you can win a Super Bowl.
Well, we keep telling ourselves that, and then you've got our defense for the Browns, and you also need something to put points on the board.
Well, that's the beauty with Sam. It's like he's a top 10 enough quarterback to put points on the board. You have a number 1 top receiver, but it's not something that, Sam Darnold better than Josh Allen? And it's like, no, he's not. But what is he? He's a really competent quarterback. It's like Jalen Hurts the year before. It's like your last two Super Bowl winners, I would say, are not top 5 quarterbacks, but they're good enough. They're good enough to get you over that hump. What do they have? What did both teams have? Great defenses. What did we have? A great defense. What did we not have? Anything on offense. We have
Anything.
nothing on offense. So we're going to let our great defensive coordinator walk out the building. You know, that's the thing. It's a competent enough organization.
Well,
by
but
Seattle.
we're a really competent one. I mean, come on, bring in Todd Monken. Come on.
That actually took me a second. I was reading the announcement to then looking at the photo. That is beautiful. Where did you find this?
What do you mean?
Oh, you're right. The Browns posted that. It was from their official account. Excuse me. How dare I? How dare I question the validity of it?
That's our new head coach.
That's our new coach.
We are an organization that knows what they're doing. Now, speaking of organizations that know what they're doing, unfortunately, guys, we weren't able to all be together for our Super Bowl episode because we were having internet issues here in the studio. So I had to do it by myself at my house. That being said, I know you guys really didn't see this clip. So Will gives us this beautiful articulation of his journey and what we could expect, or I guess how wonderful
Appreciate about it.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I had it ready for us. Yeah, I do. What you don't realize is, again, superior organizations. You think this is this beautiful journey for Sam Darnold. Actually, this was the whole time the brilliance of the Jets. You didn't even know it.
Here's the plan. We draft him and ruin his career. Then he'll float around the league and learn from the best coaches. Then, in 7 years, we strike. He'll sign with the Seahawks, face the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and beat them. We'll ruin New England.
Why don't we just draft a quarterback to win?
Shut up, Todd. That's not how we do it in New York.
I've seen strategies like that before.
Yeah. I feel like every year that's what we're saying.
I mean, we had a Browns coach leading one of the teams in the Super Bowl. So,
yeah. And another thing too, great year for New England.
yes.
Young team.
I mean, way to go, Drake May. I mean, talk about a kid that made I would love if we had a whole production crew. If we could go through the first half of the season and pull clips of like our predictions of some of these players. You were pretty tough on him at the beginning. It was like, I don't know if we're going to be.
I mean, after
somewhere.
the Super Bowl, I feel like I could still be pretty tough on him.
What do you mean?
Didn't play well. I mean, I will defend Drake May and say the left side of your offensive line really, really, really left you down. What I will say at Drake May is, oh, okay, so you do need you're not good enough to overcome that.
Sure.
I mean, like,
it's a lot to say for a rookie that depending on who it is. Yeah. But
second year, like he's a young kid, and I'll come to his defense too, even harder. It's like he had a really good year. The problem with New England is they statistically had the weakest schedule. Then you get in the Super Bowl, and that narrative doesn't help. Now, at the end of the day, back to defending them. You got to win the game still. So regardless, weak schedule or not, you still have to win the games. I'm not going to hold them that hard against it. But what did I watch? Watching Drake May, here's what I thought. You look flat-footed in the biggest game of your career.
really,
I didn't think for me, Drake May looked like the moment was pretty big. Even when the pocket was, he missed throws. Like he missed throws when they were there.
He still got like well over 30 yards rushing.
No,
I mean,
it's when he was started going, but there were other throws where it's early on in the games, you needed to make that throw.
right.
In this game, you got to make that throw. The pocket was there. You need to make that throw to keep it kind of going. But again, young kid, bright career, awesome look for New England going forward. But again, I look at Drake May and think he's still not a top 5 guy. He's a top 10 kid. I'd say he's a top 10 kid.
In a league of 32.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Damn straight.
If I'm New England, people have been really hard on New England since the Super Bowl. I would say you guys got a pretty bright future.
Oh,
because especially if I'm looking at Buffalo after their whole whatever front office debacle that was post their last game, and you guys got a young, solid team with a good defense and a head coach that kind of has you moving in the right direction. I think they're going to do just fine, and I think Drake May will bounce back better. They are going to be given a tougher schedule next year because I'm pretty sure it works If you finish first in your division, you get a tougher schedule the following year.
Right.
So I think that's how it kind of goes. But I still have them winning 10 to 12 games next year. Going into next year.
Easily. They will be in the postseason. I think they
As long
will
as he's
be
healthy.
a force for a little while. Yeah.
As long as Drake's
Yeah,
healthy.
and that's you're 100% right to reinforce that, because the way the league's been playing the last half a decade, anybody can drop off at any moment. I mean, look at Patrick. Look at the Chiefs season.
The Chiefs are going to be interesting next year. Because I think they're a rebuild. I want to say they're in a rebuild,
But
but
they
their
are.
dynasty is over.
You're looking for a new tight end. You're looking for at least one more wide receiver.
maybe two. I mean,
Two?
Rashee
That's what I'm
Rice
thinking.
Rashee Rice is fine. He's on a fast track to get himself out of the league as quick as possible.
He's trying
I
his
guess.
best.
Yeah, he's trying his best, and you don't know how many more years Reed's going to do this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and again, you've got just people coming in and out throughout the season where you got to have depth.
Yeah.
They don't have the depth as they did probably two, 3 seasons ago. So, one last piece. Speaking of the Patriots, Bill Belichick's finding himself in headlines this past week. Him and his girlfriend were at a UNC basketball game, and his girlfriend, who literally at a certain point, we've been ridiculing him for how crazy she is and like taking over his life. She literally looks like a cartoon Snow White. She's so pretty.
She is an attractive.
Like,
woman.
look
Yes,
at
she
that
is.
face. At a certain point, you go, I get it.
Why didn't Disney hire her?
It straight
I'll
up.
be-
And-
probably.
Yeah, well, because she's Snow White. Son of-
Oh, so, dude, that was a good one. Yeah.
I mean, but look at her face.
Yeah, no.
I get it. But that's not why we're talking about this. I pulled it up and I'm like, noteworthy. Cut the guy a break.
We went from thinking she had literally the will to pull the cord on him, and instead we're like, man, we get it. Dog.
We get it. I try, even if that put me out. Not even the cord. If that put me out, look at that face. I'm giving it a try. She's wearing a shirt for the masseuse parlor that Robert Kraft went to.
Nice.
Talk about a dig.
Girl knows ball.
Girl knows ball. We weren't invited to the Patriots festivities like the rest of them. So we're gonna wear a Korean massage.
Want me to piggyback off this a little bit more?
Sure, please.
So a famous Patriot fan took big issue with this. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one. His name is Dave Portnoy.
Ugh.
Big issue with this, saying
Is that the only thing big? Go.
big guy.
Big
And apparently he said this is not the time nor the place, because this came out right after also. Not only did Bill Belichick not make the Hall of Fame as a first
Right.
rounder, Robert Kraft didn't make it either.
Oh.
So, and both were given the opportunity to be first ballots. Neither of them made it. So she wears this. And this was the weekend some files were released, I believe.
Boom, boom, boom.
Something of that nature. I don't particularly know. Maybe you should check out another channel on this channel.
That channel being the Department of Justice. Right there. It's like it's better than Google. You can search any word. You know what's been really fun? Any bad word you could think of. Beep bop boop. He said it a lot.
and Dave Portnoy, the harbinger of morality and ethical values, took a huge issue with
Love
this.
that.
And let me tell you, the old tweets he had have just resurfaced since then. And it has been beautiful justice on the internet. The
You know-
internet is undefeated.
I love that. It
Internet's
always is.
undefeated.
Always is. Thank you for just enhancing the fact that
I was surprised you didn't see it, because that's how I saw this photo. Was I saw his tweet and I was like, what is he complaining about? Because I saw
Shocker.
Belichick in the photo, and then I clicked on it, and then people were posting it under. He had like a tweet about Tom Brady's kids at like 2 years old or something like that. Your valued owner that you love and worship literally is doing illegal, illicit activities. Not the place nor the time. Bill's girlfriend. I cannot wait for that man's eventual online downfall.
it's going to be in the limelight
Oh.
for everybody to see.
Oh, it'll be
The most public downfall.
It will be a Roman Empire-esque downfall.
You know what the Rethink Tank should have? The Rethink Tank should have a bottle of champagne we pop
Oh yes.
in Dave Portnoy's downfall.
I mean,
It just sits right there, golden in
Yeah.
in like it. We should go to like a junk, a pawn shop, find an old fire hydrant, like smash to like in case of
oh, okay.
emergency,
Yes.
like case, and just have this golden bottle waiting.
I'd be down. That'd be great. That'd be great. Because oh my god, it's just when I saw that tweet, I just thought in my head, you're really coming to this defense. Like this is fun petty. What I'm seeing her do
Yes.
is fun petty, and you're like, not the time nor the place. How dare you, Bill? You should know better. You're lucky Bill Belichick knows your name.
Thank you.
Like
It's like you're on your tippy toes, lucky to be in these Titans' presence.
you're lucky he should know his name. I feel like the only one who maybe was eligible enough to have a comment on it would have been like Tom Brady.
And he didn't.
No.
Also because he went to that massage parlor.
Tom Brady's like, I'm not going to touch this one.
Nope.
I'm not going to touch this one.
I like both guys.
Did you see the controversy too around Tom Brady before this game?
What?
Former New England players were really pissed off Tom Brady didn't
Yes!
come out and say he had just outright saying he was rooting for New England. And you want to
Who are you rooting for? And he's like, well, I'm going to be rooting for football. You
And
know, like both teams look good. It's like, what, dude?
And it's one of those guys, you do realize he's a part owner of a team, and that team's new head coach is the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. And it is a bit probably conflict of interest to have an announcer come out and openly show the bias to where we all know he wants New England to win. We all get it. But like you former players are like pissed off, and I want to look at him and be like, you're lucky you won one because of
Okay.
this, dude.
You're 100%. Take Will's point to the bank. Close it. Done. That's perfect. Different book.
Mhm.
First page. Deep down, that's the book he sells people,
Right.
right? So if you were to
Oh,
go
yeah, that's the PR
on
book.
Amazon, that's a book he sell. Deep down, I don't think he wanted them to win at all.
Probably not.
I want to be the only rings.
Yeah.
My rings, you're welcome.
Not only that, I have more rings than your team, and you got rid of me.
Bingo.
Like he's a petty enough, dude.
Oh,
I
trust
don't
me.
blame him.
The competitor in him is like, get it, folks, that he's competing. He's rooting for himself, his own records, his own legacy, his own dynasty. I am rooting for them to lose from here on out, not for an appreciation for this team, this franchise, and what it gave me, but to root for my own greatness. That's not bad.
No.
That's not even something that should be ridiculed, but it should be deeply understood. That is a very real human emotion that should, if anything, only be respected.
Yep.
Like, dude, what are you rooting for? Myself still. I'm not even on the damn field, and I'm still rooting for me. I'm winning.
Yeah, and you want to know what Tom Brady would probably say? If I was playing, I would have won.
And he gets to say that. Why? Because every time he's not there, they're losing.
Because
Every time they're not there, every time he's not there and Eli Manning isn't there, it's him.
it's one of those.
He's the guy.
I think the crazy stat too is still he went 7-3 in the Super Bowls, and he lost like 3 Super Bowls by combined 13 points. It's like he barely lost every game, and it's like, oh yeah, your first Super Bowl post Tom kind of got spanked.
Spanked.
A little bit of a spanked.
Couldn't get a touchdown.
Only Super Bowl Tom was kind of getting spanked in. Yeah, he came back and won that one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No wonder
crazy.
you're all pissed he didn't come out and say, oh, I want you guys to win. It is funny. It's just like they were all getting super mad. Like you had Asante Samuel getting pissed off at him and be like, Asante, you have a ring because of him. Literally, you're a great player. You were a great player. Know your place.
You have one of his fingers.
Yes. Yes.
You have one.
Yes. Really. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So, one little last final transition point before we close out the episode. Joey Porter, I don't know if you saw this, was
Oh,
in
yes.
interviews. And, this is a little juicy for a Browns fan, but also I'd love to remind everybody in the fleet of elites and the exposure of their deeply seated appetites, I just wanted to take this clip from this week. Joey Porter, Super Bowl winner, talking about his time with one of his Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I mean,
I like how you say one of, as if he played with multiple.
yeah, the quarterback, Roethlisberger.
Where?
The brotherhood, then Seven definitely broke the brotherhood because, like,
That's the one I don't
the
understand as
shit
much.
that Seven did that we don't talk about
I know.
is crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business.
Yeah.
Because if we talking Steeler business,
yeah.
his ass is foul of all foul. Like the shit that he's did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate. Won a Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. Like he knows that. Anybody in the Steeler building knows that, but we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl, and that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No.
It don't sound like you love him, dude. Like, it don't.
No.
Do I love him? I do love him. You just went on a rant, basically trying to ruin more of his reputation.
Which is tough to do.
I mean, bar's not that high,
Tough to do.
but I mean, hey, kudos for Joey.
Well, I needed to play it because, the theme, Doug brought it up earlier. You should head on over to the Rethink Tank as we just keep digging down the rabbit hole, checking out the files on our channel. What?
That's a lookup name. His last name,
Who?
Roethlisberger.
Oh, I did.
Oh, was it him?
I did. Because of this, I ran over there. He's not. Roethlisberger is not.
Hey, he's got standards.
16. I buy him from a different network. I don't buy him from the big gross network of elites trying. I'm not trying to be swindled. I get him on my own.
It's a
Roethlisberger.
It's a working man.
So, one last final piece I got here for us because, if we're going to close the whole season out, we can't just be totally NFL because that's the fun of this show. We kind of talk all football. So I want to close it out with a college football clip. Here's Mendoza in an interview doing, he was really pushing the line here. This is him getting as risque as it gets, doing his Signetti impression.
that you like to do? I mean, I don't like to do it until now because I would get benched if not. So now it's chill, I'm assuming. Would you like to do one? What the f, Fernando? Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Getting risky.
Pretty good.
Fernando.
Yeah, he calls it his first name. Yeah, we're on a first name basis.
So, this is how we're going to close it out. I want to tell you guys, join us on this channel today at 4:20. We're going to be releasing a clip of every single time. If you know our show, we end our episodes with the parlay pick of the week. The whole goal this season has been to make you money. We've been able to deliver on that, but more than that, we've lost. Someone, at least in the studio, would lose. Each one of us would take a pick here. And I went through and made a fun, full video of all of our weeks put together, keeping a score. So go check that out so you can see the figures, who does it the fastest, taking their punishment, doing the ice. Yeah, I got to say, I got some fast parts, but then you guys had some moments too. We actually make it pretty exciting. So be sure to head on over to do that because where we're at right now, closing out the whole season, the scoreboard ends in week 23 with Doug with 11 victories this week, Will with 12.5 victories, and myself at 13.5 victories. So without further ado, Doug, if you want to click over to Will, and then you guys can take your punishment. The beauty of ending in a finale like this is I get to watch the two of them do their drink. Here, Doug, move in a little bit. There you go. Nice. I like his shirt. Looks good, doesn't he, guys? Oh, man. Will is...
I felt so out of practice.
He's red.
You know what's funny is I actually felt like I was starting off really slow.
Yeah, but then you zoomed right through.
I felt like it was slow the whole time. It was so painful the whole time. I could not get it.
And we did, and sometimes we didn't, but at least each week we brought you entertainment. With that being said, I'm proud to call myself your Sunday Football Review Parlay Pick of the Week champion with the most victories this week. That being said, keep this in mind. So next week or next year, when football season rolls around and we're putting together our parlay picks, remember who brings home the dub for you the most. So when you're crafting your own parlay pick, you could consider that, and also bring in a little bit more weight into our considerations each week. But guys, we appreciate you joining us. If you haven't yet, like I brought up, be sure to check out the Heartland Halftime Show. Great music and just a great time. Stick away from all the politics and the BS and just enjoy a fun YouTube video. It's beyond just the band performance. It's a great experience. It's a fun 20, 25 minutes. Sit down and have a good time. Join the Heartland Halftime Show. Yep. We appreciate you joining us. It's been a great finale.
Yeah,
guys.
It's been a fun year.
Thank you.
Really good season.
Great intakes. Yeah. Doug was here. Not all the time, but he was here. And he's here today.
Honestly, though, overall, a great NFL football season.
Most fun we've had in a while.
Yeah, very interesting season. You know, I mean, the dynasty's over. There's not really an open dynasty right now, it feels.
Well, it is sad because one of the things you brought up was that this is a beginning for the Patriots. And if they can build properly, I think you're going to see an old dynasty sink its teeth into that open field once again.
I did see a stat, though, which was interesting. A lot of quarterbacks have made the Super Bowl in their second year and never made it back. Because you got to think Burrow's never made it back. Dan Marino never made it back.
Wow.
Drake May now hasn't made it back. There's a couple others. There's like 6 or 7 of them that had very good careers. You know, they were like had very good careers and never made it back. And it is interesting because Burrow made it in the second year, hasn't been back.
Well, as a callous Browns fan, I can only hope that stat holds true.
Continues until he gets traded to like LA when Stafford retires.
Yeah, dude, I want a new dynasty.
Yeah,
I want a new dynasty.
I think that's what's exciting is we went from the Chiefs thing to the Eagles win it, and then now Seattle win it, and it feels like no team really has a dynasty build right now. There are a bunch of good teams, but it's not.
Can't wait for next year.
Yeah, it's not really, who's going to top the Chiefs this year? I could easily see Seattle back in it or not making it back next year. You never know.
Right. Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to be here. See you in August. We're going to be thawed out and ready for football. It's going to be a long couple months. Every time we hit this period, it's not exciting to have to wait once again.
Golf, baby.
That's right. It is easy to forget about it, though, when I am on a tee box. So looking forward to finally thawing out. Guys, stay warm. Enjoy your winter break, and see you next summer. If you're looking for where you can find all of our different content from the Rethink Actions channel here, wake up, have a cup of coffee with us. You know, today we watched hilarious winter videos. Last week, crazy climbing videos on buildings, whatever. It's always something different. Wake up, have a cup of coffee with us, or we have our Sunday reaction or our live show, the podcast, everything in one central place. You can find it at our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. For one final hoorah and send off, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss us in the future. And guys, thanks again. We'll catch you this summer in August.